Hello, my friend. Today we learn English through a powerful motivation story. The story of how fear silently controls our lives and how one simple shift in thinking can set a person free. In the center of a busy city, in a place full of noise, movement, and shining screens, there existed a quiet truth about human life. A truth that no one talked about. People walked fast. People worked hard. People dreamed loudly. But deep inside many hearts, there lived a silent, invisible force that shaped every choice, every failure, and every moment of hesitation. That force was fear. Not the fear of darkness, not the fear of ghosts, but the fear that hides behind everyday decisions. The fear of speaking, the fear of trying, the fear of being judged, the fear of not being good enough. This is not a story about one person. It is a story that belongs to millions. It might even belong to you. In offices, in classrooms, in small apartments, and in crowded streets, people were fighting a quiet war inside their minds. A war they never showed on their faces. A war they didn't know how to explain. A war that made them act small even when their dreams were big. There was a company in this city known for producing brilliant ideas. It was a creative house where new concepts were born every day. Technology, marketing designs, campaigns that reached the world. And inside this company worked a group of talented individuals who, from the outside, looked confident and capable. But when the doors closed and the lights dimmed, fear began to whisper inside each of them. Not fear of danger, but fear of being seen. Fear of failure. Fear of making a mistake. Every Monday morning, the team gathered in a large meeting room with glass walls. The city lights shined through like a reminder. The world is watching. The leader stood near the screen and asked the same question every week. Who wants to share their idea first? Silence. Not because the room was empty of ideas, but because the minds inside the room were full of fear. One employee had a brilliant idea but kept their hands under the table. Another had a solution to a complex problem but felt their voice shaking. Someone else had practiced their presentation 10 times the night before but suddenly felt it was not good enough. Fear didn't shout. Fear whispered. What if they laugh? What if you're wrong? What if your idea isn't as smart as theirs? What if this one moment ruins everything? Fear was subtle. Fear was clever. Fear made people believe it was protecting them when, in reality, it was trapping them. Weeks passed. Ideas died silently inside notebooks. Dreams remained inside minds, never reaching the table. Confidence slowly weakened, like a muscle that was never used. And the company, this great place of creativity, began to grow slower, quieter, heavier. Not because people lacked talent, but because they lacked courage. But one day, something changed. And it was not dramatic. It was not magical. It was not a speech, not a miracle, not a sudden burst of bravery. It began with a simple exercise, something the leader introduced not to push people, but to free them. He placed a large board in the center of the room with only one sentence written on it. Write a fear you have, anonymously. No names, no judgment, no explanations, just honesty. One by one, people walked to the board, pretending it was no big deal. But their hearts were beating faster, because writing a truth, even without a name, can be frightening. The board slowly filled with sentences that looked simple, but carried heavy stories inside them. I'm afraid of speaking because my voice shakes. I'm afraid I'm not talented enough. I fear being judged. I fear disappointing people. I fear I am ordinary. I fear I will never be confident. When the board was full, the leader didn't ask who wrote what. He simply said with a calm, steady voice, "Look around. You are not alone. You never were." Something powerful happened in that room. The fear that felt so personal suddenly became shared. People who thought they were weak realized everyone around them was carrying the same invisible weight. People who thought others were confident discovered that confidence was mostly a performance. People who thought they were the only ones struggling realized fear was part of being human. And in that single moment, fear began to shrink. Not disappear, but shrink. Because fear grows strongest in silence and weakest in honesty. From that day onward, the company changed its rule. Every meeting began with one question. What fear are you bringing into today's room? Not to embarrass anyone, not to expose anyone, but to remind everyone that fear is a visitor, not a master. Something that comes and goes. Something that loses its power when spoken. Slowly, people began to raise their hands. Voices that once trembled became voices that carried meaning. Ideas that were once locked inside brains finally entered the world. People still felt fear. But now, they walked with it. They didn't hide behind it. And then, something deeper happened. People began to discover that action is the true medicine for fear. Not thinking, not waiting, not wishing. Action. The moment someone spoke even one sentence in a meeting, fear weakened. The moment someone shared a half-finished idea, fear loosened its grip. The moment someone tried something new, fear stepped back. The company transformed. Projects improved. Innovation returned. But more importantly, people started feeling alive again. They stopped living inside their heads. They stopped dreaming instead of doing. They stopped imagining failure and started imagining possibility. And the most surprising change was this. People no longer respected fearlessness. They respected courage. The courage to speak with a shaking voice. The courage to try while still doubting. The courage to move even with uncertainty. Because bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is the decision to move forward while fear is still present. The company's culture became an example for other workplaces in the city. Schools invited the leader to speak to students. Universities called him to share this story with young people starting their careers. He always repeated the same sentence with slow, emotional emphasis. Confidence is not something you find. It is something you build by walking through fear, not away from it. But the most powerful part of this story wasn't what happened in the company. It was what happened in people's personal lives. One person finally applied for a job they always believed was too big for them. Someone else shared their creative work online for the first time, even though their hands were shaking. Another person finally spoke honestly to their family about their dreams, instead of living in quiet disappointment. Someone took a course they feared they weren't smart enough to complete, and ended up finishing at the top of the class. Fear didn't disappear from the world. Fear never does. But people learned something life-changing. You don't have to wait for fear to go away before you move. You move first, and fear falls behind you. Confidence, they learned, is like a shadow. The moment you walk forward, it follows. Time passed. People grew, lives changed, and one simple idea spread from person to person, like a warm, hopeful light. If you want to learn how to walk without fear, you must start walking. Even if your steps are small, even if your voice shakes, even if your heart races, because the act of moving is what sets you free. Fear teaches you to freeze. Courage teaches you to move. And movement. Movement is everything. By the end of the year, the company was doing better than ever. Not because of technology, not because of strategies, not because of new systems, but because its people had learned the greatest emotional skill, the skill of taking action even when fear whispers, stop. Their lives outside the office were richer. Their self-belief was stronger. Their dreams felt closer. The city remained loud, busy, and full of challenges. But something inside them had changed forever. They now walked through the same streets they once feared, with a different heart, a different posture, a different understanding of themselves. They were no longer controlled by fear. They were guided by possibility. They were carried by courage. And they finally understood the truth. Walking without fear doesn't mean fear disappears. It means you stop giving fear the power to choose your steps. And so, my friend, this story teaches something simple, emotional, and deeply human. You don't overcome fear in your mind. You overcome fear with your feet, by taking one brave step at a time. That is how anyone learns to walk without fear.